A new wave is coming. A wave that isn't old. It isn't whitewash. It's young. It's a young wave. Today I had the pleasure of having my boy Carson Keeton on, also known as Young Wave. He's a rapper, he's a musical artist, and he's pretty damn good. I knew him in elementary school. We didn't get along very well. We had our ups and downs, kind of like a Viagra addicts playing Flappy Bird. I had a great conversation with him, learned a lot about him, and you can too in a couple of seconds. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram at Emmett Butler if you want to. Follow Carson at Carson Keeton and at Young Wave Official. And as always, be yourself, but be better. Let's talk about music. So,
For sure.
I just found out that you were a rapper. You're now a rapper, a musical artist, and I listened to one of your songs, and it goes hard, man. Like I really enjoyed it. Not that I didn't expect to enjoy it, but I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was really good, man. How'd you start making music?
So freshman year, I pretty much just I have to start earlier than that. I would say middle school is when I first got into music in general, and that's when I started listening to Juice World because of my friend Angel Hernandez, and he was my best friend since sixth grade. And Angel put me on Juice World in like seventh or something, and I downloaded his first album and stuff. And but I remember hearing like Lucid Dreams and All Girls Are the Same before he was even famous and shit.
Great songs.
But I was listening to him. He got me through a lot, and like especially in high school when I was going through some like terrible shit, like continued to get me through stuff. And I decided freshman year to start making music because of him, and like put the things in my life, like tell my own story pretty much, and try to help people the same way that he did. And then like I guess when he died, it just like I was really upset about it, and then I got sent to rehab like shortly after that. But when I was in rehab, I made my first album, and then when I came back, I dropped two singles from the studio, and I have another like unreleased like single right now that I'm gonna put in my album that I'm releasing in like December. But it's gonna be like a 12 track, like all professionally produced and shit.
Oh shit, man, that sounds awesome.
So
I
my
mean,
journey with music has come from like not knowing how to use autotune and rapping over fucking Bluetooth speakers and like getting laughed at by all of the school, like to actually getting myself some respect and going to like a legit place, working with legit people, and now I'm building my future on that, and ultimately going to LA Film School next year for a degree in audio production.
a buddy of mine goes to LA Film School. I
Yeah.
actually just had him on. He's gonna be on the episode before you. Like
Oh, really?
yeah, and you watch that one because he's there and he's been making music, and it's he's really vibing with it. But that's because I lost touch with you, man, because we went to elementary school and we had a very strange relationship. Like
We really did.
we'd get along really well for like a week, and then the week after we'd be killing each other in class.
Bro, do you remember that fight on the grass field with like the bouncy ball, and I beat the shit out of it? I swear to God.
That is not what. Hold up, dude! Don't make me go there because I
Bro,
remember very well you
this was
crying.
back before this is back before all the kids had iPhones and shit. So like all we have is our memory.
I'd like to remember myself as beating the 6'2" Neanderthal of a human being, and me being this fat little blob of 5 feet.
You're wild, and your ass was on the ground.
I'm gonna end this interview right now, bro. We'll go take this outside. How about that?
Meet me in Newport L.
But now it'll be filmed and it won't be as fun. I want to get
We'll
into
settle the playground drama, yeah.
I want to get into that Juice World rabbit hole because I never really got into it. I recently started listening to X and Juice World, and they're definitely I mean, not that they're to put them in the same category, but their music really hits a certain type of person. You know what I mean? It reaches a certain type of mental state and mental frame. I mean, why did you relate to Juice so much, man?
Oh shit. I guess it goes like personal. Like
Anything you don't want to talk about, man, or
no,
afterwards
it's
you don't feel
chilling.
comfortable?
I'm an open book, bro. Like to be honest. So I had this one relationship when I was like, fuck, how old was I? Like 15, and I met her in the summer, and like a Juice fan would know that there is a lyric that said, "I met her in the summer. She led to the fall of me, bro." So
Mm.
I went after this girl for a year, and I let her break my heart like 3 different times. It fucked me up so bad, and like that was the same year that Juice passed away in December, and I had a lot on my plate, and like my homies were getting like taken to jail and shit, and then that's like right when I got sent away. But like when I was talking about just like that Juice rabbit hole and how I got kind of sucked into that is just like at first I just loved his music. I thought it was amazing because I've always loved like singing and like melodic stuff and things with feeling and passion in them. But like as I went through his music, like listening to it, like I really feel like he brought me through all of these emotions I was like familiar with, and he was someone that I could like relate to. And one of the big things was like I just knew that he would always like be there for me at the end of the day. Like his music, I could always listen to it and I would always like feel better. And there was one song I remember listening to like in the beginning of 2019 where he said, "Life's not fair, but I'm here, so don't fear." And then I was thinking like, I was like, I guess at the end of the day, like I still have like this like amazing artist that makes like this music I love that helps me get through like shit. And then when he died, I just lost that. I'm like, damn, you really like some things you think you can't lose and you'll just always have, but like I guess all you really have is like the music they leave behind. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Is that what you want to do for other people? What he did for you?
Yeah, but I want to like he lost his own battle, and that's not on him. But like, something for me is like, I just I want to continue to fight. Like I'm never one to give up, but I want to make music that can help other people like get through their struggles and stuff too. And don't get me wrong, like I still love making lit songs. Like just like rapping, doing whatever. Like
Yeah.
I can rap and I can sing probably equal abilities and change the flow 20 times in a song, but it's just like I normally choose to make songs about things that matter. If that makes sense.
Mm. What type of person and who do you really want to be hitting with your music? Because there's a lot of people out there, man. There's the people that just want to turn up and go crazy and just listen to club bangers, and there's the people that want to really sit in their feels. And I feel like those are two different audiences. Maybe they're the same at sometimes, but is there a certain kid that you're like, I want this kid that's going through this to be listening to this in his headphones and know he's not alone? Is there a certain audience?
Yeah, I would say the kids like me, like in elementary school, I was always, I don't know, people just take my shit and piss me off. Like I just remember always being mad and upset. And like every relationship I've been in's been kind of whatever, honestly. Like I've had a couple like decent ones, but like I have some crazy exes and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
mean,
I would hope to reach people like me. I mean, I was so depressed before I got sent away. And like it was all therapeutic and stuff. So I honestly think that I just matured enough in there to manage my own shit and like grasp reality.
yeah.
So like now I'm not really tripping anymore. But like God, I can just remember how bad I was before I got sent away. Like I would want to help that kid that's going through hell.
Yeah. I mean, that's what every kid wants, man. Every kid wants to relate, and every person, I think every person in general wants to find somebody that can articulate what they're feeling and express it in a way that hits the hardest, you know?
Yeah.
Um, for me, uh, I've always been a fan of Eminem, not because of he's the white rapper whatever the fuck you want to say.
Yeah.
I have always been a fan of Eminem because he's been able to articulate exactly what I feel and how I felt in a way that I don't know anyone else that has done that. I mean, he's the first person that when I found out I had OCD and I was going through these like fits of like lying on the floor, like shaking of what the fuck is going on in my brain. Um, he was one of the first ones that I listened to. I'm like, holy shit, this guy thinks like me. There's someone else out there that thinks like me, that people look at like a sociopath, but he was able to articulate it in a way that I could never express. You know what I
And
mean?
that's so cool because like things you can point at people and put labels on them and say, oh, there's this and this wrong with this person. But honestly, like everybody's different, and like having a difference is not a bad thing.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, I don't know what you went through before high school, or what you went through before you went to rehab, or what made you turn to the things that made you have to go to rehab. But whatever those are, and you don't need to talk about them if you don't want to, man, seriously. But whatever those are, I mean, in a way, they made you who you are today, right?
Yeah, I guess. I
I
mean,
mean,
those things, if I want to put them under broad topics, it's just like home life shit and just like it was a lot of like school shit too. I guess I was just like it was back when I had all my friends. So like we were doing some crazy shit and I was just getting in trouble. And now I've lost pretty much most of my friends now because one of them's on house arrest, the other one's in Utah, the other one's in boarding school in like San Bernardino or something. I don't know, bro. But like it was a couple of factors. It was just like the social influence, I guess, and then me with my own shit for that.
have you always been someone that thrives more in a group setting or on your own?
It's weird because I said I was like I was downtown Huntington yesterday and I was talking to someone. I was just saying like I am the most probably what's the word? I'm the most introverted extrovert or the most extroverted introvert, one or the other.
Yeah, yeah. I'm the
Because
I'm with you there, man. I want to hear what you say first, and then I'll.
all right,
But
because I like to be in a group and like I like to talk to people and I like to like see how everyone's doing and stuff. Make and like just I like to make people's day better and stuff. That's that type of thing. Like one thing about me has always been like generosity. I've always loved to like give people stuff. But then like another part of me, I will just like I'll sit back in my room with the door closed and not come out for hours and hours and hours. Like I'll write music back here. I'll like I was working on my driver's test this morning for like 3 hours. I don't know. I just like I tend to when I isolate myself, I'm just alone for a long ass time just doing stuff.
I feel like most artists are like that. Most people that really want to create are similar, because in order to really create something that's powerful, that leaves a legacy, it needs to be you. You know,
Yeah.
it can't be an imitation game. It's got to be your own art, whatever that is. I mean,
Yeah.
even if you're acting, you need to pretend, you need to be someone else, but in your way. If you're making
You
music, it needs to be your sound, and you can't do that if you're just constantly with other people.
yeah, and do you know what I mean when I say channel your art? Like
No. Well, maybe
oh,
explain.
well, I'll explain. So like everybody has like a creative talent, mine being music and stuff. Like
Mhm.
it's just channeling your art can be really difficult, and like channeling your creativity for what you're specifically good at is what I'm pretty much saying. So like when I'm sitting alone, like trying to write something, like a lot of the times, like it just won't work. Like I can't think of the right thing, or I'll sit here just staring off into the distance and tapping my foot for hours, that type of thing.
Mm.
Like sometimes it just like and like when you're with other people it's almost impossible, so you got to really like be by yourself and in a certain mood, and certain things can affect that mood, but like in different moods you channel your best work.
Do you know Neil deGrasse Tyson, the
uh
the astrologist, astronomer?
I've heard his name, I just
you
don't
you
really.
you know him if you see him. But one of the things he said when he was interviewed was, the most productive people aren't creative. You can't be creative and productive. That day you go, oh, I got all my emails done. I went to the library. I ran my dog on a walk. I changed my tires. I went to McDonald's and picked up my kids' food. I put my kids to bed on time. I read 3 novels and I published my book. Like, the days you do that, yeah, but how much time did you spend thinking and what did you create? You need those times of, I mean, like you say, you sit in your room and tap your foot for hours, and then you may not think of anything for those 3 hours, but then the next day in the middle of your lunch, you go, holy shit, it just came to me. It's the same way for me when I'm working on a character. I spend a lot of time by myself, man. But as you know, I can fit pretty well into crowds. I can figure out the way they work, and I can meld well, like an introverted extrovert or
Yeah.
extroverted introvert, because I prefer to be alone, but I can go out. And like I'll go on 3-4 hour bike rides just by myself, just me and my music, and then my AirPods die and it's just me and myself.
Yeah.
I'll go on walks and shit, and that's when I feel the most creative. That's when I feel the most alive, you know?
Yeah, I feel you.
When did you take it from being this is something fun, I like listening to music and writing music, to this is my passion and I'm going to do this for real?
Mm. So my first song, people probably still remember that. It's pretty shit. It's called Cheated. And anybody who watches this interview that knows me personally is gonna laugh their ass off because it was really bad. And bro, I like right after I made that song, I was kind of thinking about it, and then I didn't know if I wanted to keep making music or not, because I didn't know if it was good or not. But I just decided to ignore everybody that was talking shit, even though there was so much shit talked at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a couple more that were better, and then I started thinking they were better. People started telling me they were better, and I gave less of a fuck of what people thought. And I guess when I went to rehab, I didn't have anyone's opinion to deal with. So I just made my album, and I didn't like cater to anyone's opinions or like what they would want in it. I just made it mine. So I think that my first album might just be my rawest work.
Mm. I mean, that's an important thing. It's very important, man. I mean, you say I remember. Oh, what happened?
Someone's calling me.
Oh, come back to me.
Can I put it on hold? Can you put a Zoom call on hold?
The Zoom call.
Whatever. He just hung up, so I don't give a shit.
All right, bet. What were we saying?
There's somebody coming over to my house at like soon. So like I don't know.
Bruh, nice. Great timing. We could have done this another time if you needed to.
Oh no, I just told him wait till I call you back, so he might just like leave me alone. It's whatever.
You say, I now remember you in elementary school, and I remember myself in elementary school, and I feel like those kids, the ones that are saying your things are shit, right? You're always going to have those people, right? Those people are always going to be around. But what you just said is that when you went into rehab and you made that album by yourself, all by yourself, and didn't listen to anybody's opinion, are you going to be able to carry that over to everything else you do?
Yeah.
How do you do that, man? I mean, it's very easy to listen to other people's. Everyone has something to say. How do you shut those out?
You have to, for me, I turn everything off, like, and just sit here, like, with my notes open on my phone, and I just like I have to look inside of myself. I have to like not think about like I don't have to think about the music aspect as much. I have to think about the feeling aspect.
Hmm.
And that's how you cater to yourself more than other people, like based on what you're creating. Like you want it to be your work, not theirs.
Okay, that makes
And
sense.
it's like making things from scratch. Like, you know, when you make cookies from scratch, you need all
Yeah.
the ingredients. Like when you make songs from scratch, you need the feelings to put into them, or else the song's going to be empty. It might be a one-hit wonder. It might pop off for a month and then go away. I'm not saying it's going to fail if there's no emotion in it, because that's how like club bangers are, but you never see a club banger popular for like a year.
Yeah, and the ones that are, I mean, there
But
is
people are
emotion.
still listening to like Lucid Dreams, and people are still listening to Jocelyn Flores.
Yeah, yeah, man. That's totally. It's storytelling, right? That's what music is. Storytelling. It's
Yeah.
telling your story. Is there a message that you want to say with your music or with your brand? Is there
My
anything?
message.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is I want to give you a backstory about how I created my name.
Okay.
Young
I was gonna
Wave.
ask that too.
Young Wave, I just did YUNG instead of the actual spelling of young because 2 4-letter words just look cool as far as
Okay.
branding goes.
Okay.
And also because I can do this dope ass autograph where you go like a Y right here and then you connect the U, the N, and then the G. And then the wave is fucking sick. You go like you do a W and then the A, the V, and then just the E attached to the V. And it's like all one word. So I made like a cool like autograph for it. And the reason I thought of that name is because I was actually making an autograph for my Cash App. And I was making the wave thing. And
Dude, that's funny.
I know. So the night I was making my Cash App, I thought of that. And then I was like, wait, I grew up by the beach, young wave, like that tells my like background personal story. But then I also thought like my music that I make is like a wave because it's like beautiful to look at, part of nature, but like it can also be like violent. There's different sides to it. And I think a wave is multidimensional like my music is. So
Okay.
I think that's just like the most suitable name for me. So that's my brand anyways. And the message I'm trying to push out to people, I guess, is just like you can like beat the lows in your life, you know? Like a low isn't forever. And like I'm still watching 13 Reasons Why. I'm almost done with it. I have 2 more episodes left in the 4th season. But when I think of like someone killing themselves like that, like I just think like they just needed someone to tell them they could beat the low in their life. And I know
you know you're one of the first people to personify that and like make the low is an enemy versus people say it's like a place. Like, you know, you're at your low, but you always get out of it. It'll always pass. You're the first person to be like that I've heard that has said, no, fuck that. A low is an enemy. And if you just sit there and you let that enemy fight you and beat the shit out of you, you're not going to get past it. You have to fight it. You have to push through it. You have to make it your friend or your ally, you know?
You got to be proactive and you got to find some way to cope that's not going to kill you.
Yeah. It's hard. I mean, that's and everyone, I talked about this in the last interview. Everybody experiences different pain and different struggle, and everyone is always going to say your pain is less than somebody else's, but it's not true. Right? They don't know how you feel. They don't know what goes on in your brain, and they don't know who you are. Everyone's a different person. Everyone is their own person. Everyone has their own story, you know? How do you differentiate yourself? I don't want to say idolizing, but respecting and utilizing how other people sound and go, oh, I love how that sounds. I want to use that somehow. How do you go through that process without copying other people? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I might get inspiration from somewhere and like maybe do something similar to it, but I never want to copy someone. I'll always put like my own twist on it or something. Like I'll sit there. That's part of being creative. Like you can usually put your own spin on things. So like when I get inspiration from, honestly, I usually just get inspiration from myself. Like I'll just think of things, but like there's this one lyric I thought of that I heard in an unreleased Juice WRLD song, but I thought of it and like it was in one of my songs before I ever heard it in a Juice song, and I was like, fuck, now people are just gonna think that I copied it.
What was the lyric?
Let me see if I can go to my notes on my phone real quick because I wrote this. As long as you can still hear me.
No, I can still hear you. Yeah, you are still loud and clear.
All right. I broke my phone like 2 weeks ago, so I lost all the lyrics to all my songs.
Oh my god, dude, that sucks.
I know, but I only had a couple done for my album, so it's whatever. It's not like a whole bunch of work. It's just like a couple hours. But I saved these 4 lyrics because it took me so long to think of them. But I love them. Life been this way for too long. Fight demons you can't see, they ain't gone. I sent smoke their way, big bong, but my heart always on fire, napalm. And like the way that I would sing that would just like this like vision I have of it was pretty cool.
Is that the Juice WRLD one, or is that a different?
The Juice WRLD one is Big Bong, because I'm like, I sent smoke their way, big bong. There's this Juice WRLD like lyric in Dark Arts where he says like, beef with we met at a park, big bong or some shit. I don't know. I'm not gonna say the N-word on fucking Zoom with Emmett.
I would
So I can't see
appreciate
the actual lyric, but
Yeah,
you know.
I'd appreciate if you didn't. That'd be nice. Um, you say you don't listen to other people's opinions, but is there anyone that's opinion does matter? Anyone that you say when they say something about a song or something about your lyric, you okay, I'll listen. Is there anyone in your circle that is that for you?
Mm, well, my circle right now is not even a circle. I don't know what it is, bro. I have friends like branched out in like different areas. Like I have like the HB heads that I have to go all the way over there to see, and I rarely ever see. And I have like a couple people scattered left in Newport, and then some friends over in the Newport coast. But I would say like who I listen to the most is probably like it's probably Av or like my producer.
Mm.
And my producer's name is Nathan. Like he's cool as fuck. I hang out with him probably like once a week and we just do some stupid shit. But I always listen to what he has to say about my songs because it's his beats and stuff, and I respect the hell out of him. He just turned 18 and he came from Portland, Oregon, down here. So yeah, I met him at a bonfire, and then he sent me some beats, and shit, my mom's texting me. He sent me some beats, and I loved them. And since we were already hanging out a lot, like I made a song on one of his beats, and that was my one unreleased song that no one's really heard yet. That's gonna come out of my album. But he loved it so much. He's just been sending me more beats to make my album with. And I don't even know if he's gonna charge me at this point. He hasn't said anything about it. But I told him I would pay him like whatever for a 12-song album.
Dude, that's sick.
But he's just hyping me up at this point. He just keep on sending beats. Yeah.
Let me ask you something. Those kids and the people that made you so angry when you were younger and older, do you still feel that anger towards them?
What, like Justin Siciliano fucking running away with my football in 5th grade, taking that shit every day. I wanted to kill that kid.
Yeah, I just mean in general, the people that wronged you in the past or that made you so upset. I don't mean just in elementary school. I just mean in any time before now. Do you still hold that with you?
Do I have regrets? Yes. Do I hold grudges? No. The only grudges I hold are on myself.
That's a big thing to say, man. That's an immature thing to think. A lot of people don't think that way. I mean,
well, that's the only way you're gonna fix your own shit. You can't fix other people, so you might as well let it go.
It's a good way to think about it. I mean, I look at it like when you have a problem, I feel like the first person you should be checking in with is yourself. See if you can fix that problem through changing you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly, because that's the only thing you have control over. Like, what else are you gonna do?
2 things in life you can control: your effort and your attitude. That's it. Nothing else. No one else. Nothing else. You can just do you. I mean, it seems like you have a real passion in this music path. Do you want to exclusively make rap, or do you want to produce maybe down the line? Do you want to try making beat? Like, what is the future looking like for Young Wave?
Future is looking like film school next year, where I'm going for my audio degree, and then so you know how like Lil Bibby went on tour with Juice WRLD and like he did all of his sound and stuff. He was making 7 figures on that, and with a degree in audio production, I could do that.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, I could just like manage, like, because I'll get a bunch of industry contacts. One of the program directors is Snoop Dogg, so I'm gonna meet a lot of people out in LA, and I'll either get some features on an album, hopefully, and like make my name as an artist, which that's what I'm hoping to do. But I can also like go do some like sound stuff on the side and make a lot of money doing that. So that's kind of my future. I'm trying to just like I'm trying to work with a label eventually, and like build up my brand as much as I can.
Do you have any gigs coming up? Anything live? Are you gonna perform live at all?
I have a show coming up. I have one booked for like next year. For my mom's doing she owns First Class Events, the event company from Riverside.
Okay.
And the schools have her doing like an event at the OC Fair. It's going to be called Teen Cella, and it's just going to be like a small Coachella with like local artists and shit. And I'm going to perform that. It's going to be like there's like a lot of people there, bro. Kind of nervous.
You be excited, man. That's awesome.
I know.
Anything else?
I gotta work on it, but right now I'm just working on getting studio time for the album, and then I want to go on tour next summer for that album.
Dude, that's so sick, man. It's so cool that you're getting shit done and you're making it happen. Because I know how people respond when you're like,
dude, I work a fucking job pushing shopping carts for $15 an hour to buy studio time.
Where do you work?
Bristol Farms.
Oh, right. That's not a terrible place to work, though. You could be working.
It's really not. It's nice.
Yeah. I'm just scooping ice cream, bro. Just scooping the cream.
Dude, I'm trying to get a new job though. Like, if you don't mind me asking, how much they paying you? Because I'm trying to get out of Bristol.
I have some places that I can shoot you because I did a job hunt around where I live a while back to find a place, and there's some good places hiring, dude.
I just want a job. I want a job somewhere where I don't have to be outside for half the day pushing carts and it's not hot. Because it's just hot as hell out there. And I just want a job where I can like stand at a cash register like a normal person.
We need to talk about this. What the fuck is up with people not putting their carts in the cart corral?
In the fucking cart return.
Dude.
I've seen fools, bro, right in front of me throw them in the planter in the middle of all the cars and shit. And I'm in fucking Corona Del Mar, right? So I'm trying not to hit 10 Rolls Royces, taking like a couple shopping carts out of the planter.
It's just so dumb. Like, it's decent human courtesy, you know?
People don't have a lot of that these days. But
but Young Wave's gonna change that. I'm so happy for you, man. Seriously, genuinely, to see you doing something real and doing something for you and letting go of the people around you and focusing on your shit and actually releasing stuff and making a name for yourself, man. Good for fucking you. Seriously. And I appreciate you for coming on. I love talking about this and learning more about what you're doing, where you're going, how you're doing it. And plug your social media real quick so people can go follow you. What's your
it's going to be Young Wave Official on Instagram, _Young_Wave_official, okay. All lowercase. And then Snap is just Carson Keeton 08, no spaces.
If you guys want to learn more about him, check him out on he's on Apple Music and Spotify, right?
Yeah. That's just Young Wave, YUNGWAVE. You can find it on all major streaming platforms. If you're on SoundCloud, you might have to search up one of my song names because there's like a million Young Waves. But yeah.
Yeah, everyone go check him out and follow me on Instagram too at Emmett Butler. It's a great place to be. Subscribe to Homeroom, drop a comment down below, and as always, be yourself, but be better. Okay, fucking nice.